Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, I am absolutely delighted to be joined this evening by a guy who's going to be making his Fighters Rep debut on our first ever Fighters Rep event in South Florida, specifically Pompano Beach. None other than Adric Kennedy, also known as AK. AK, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. It's a wonderful day today. We starting the week off good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to February 17th.
Man, we're looking forward to having you on. I'm very excited. Obviously, we've now expanded into Florida. I'm not sure if you've been able to see what we're doing out there a little bit in California. But, first and foremost, I want to ask you, who is AK? What got you to this point in the fight game? Let us know a little bit, like in a nutshell, who is AK?
AK is I guess you could say a journeyman. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been in martial arts since I was little, and I've been basically kind of just walking that road for a long time. I started doing the combat sport martial arts back around 2008 in Wisconsin. Relocated to Florida. I've been down here in Florida just training and training and training and training and training and looking for an opportunity. And guess who came knocking at the door? FightersRep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to being on this card and being able to display years and years of preparation and just dreams that I've been looking to reach, aspiring for, and everything. So this is a great. Once again, I just gotta thank you for this opportunity, for real, for real.
No, man. We thank you. Obviously, I mean, look, without us, there's no show, but without the fighters, there's no fight and there's no show either. So, we kind of work together in this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what Fighters Rep is about, man. We're trying to make a community here, and I appreciate you jumping on our first ever card in Florida, which I'm very excited about as a Miami native originally, coming back home and getting to help grow the talent locally. But it's interesting. You said Wisconsin. I mean, are you originally from Wisconsin and you've relocated to Florida, or tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm a Midwest kid. I was born and raised in the Midwest.
No
I
wonder
started
you like fighting so much.
exactly. It's all we know. Started in Chicago, went up to Milwaukee. I've been all around the Midwest. But eventually around 2014, I was like, I'm done with the snow. I got to leave that snow stuff behind. The cold weather, it makes a different kind of animal, to be honest with you. When you're dealing with cold weather, it makes you into a different type of animal. So I was like, let me come down to where there's some sea and sun and everything of that nature. I was a little bit jealous too, because I came down in December back in 2014 and there was no snow on the ground. I was like, what is this? This ain't right. So, fortunately, things kind of worked out where I was able to relocate down here, and I ain't left ever since. And I've been just steadily training, just sharpening my sword, just so I can, be able to one day establish a rep for my name. And
Yeah.
like I said, you guys are allowing me to do that on your first card down here in Florida. So that's a blessing, man, for real. Thank you once again.
Yeah. No, we're lucky to have you. So kind of tell me about, when you started fighting, what got you into fighting? Obviously this is not the easy road that you've taken in life.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what got you into this.
So all right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of the long story, but then I'm gonna just go into some of the crazy wild side of it. The long story is this much. I always have to give credit to my family, to my brother, my family in regards to introducing me to martial arts, and my brother in regards to the fact that we would get into nefarious stuff as kids, and we'd be on the block, fighting all the other little kids on the block. He'd be like, "Yeah, my little brother can beat your little brother." So that was like the little bit of the catalyst of what got me into like combat and just scrapping and fighting with other people. From there, just really the love of martial arts. The love of martial arts is what kind of kept me learning and growing, and allowed me to dabble in other different type of disciplines, from Muay Thai, kickboxing to Taekwondo, so on and so forth, growing throughout the years from my youth. And you know, when I was in college, they used to do, matter of fact, to be honest with you, let's take it back to high school. There used to be like bum fights and the backyard scraps with like
That's
Kimbo
right.
Slice, rest in
That's
peace.
right.
I used to love watching that stuff as a kid, like that was that. Now I'm no longer a child, but even still looking back, it was like, yeah, I used to like sit back and run home after high school and try to go on YouTube to watch Kimbo knock somebody's eye out. Rest in peace to Kimbo.
So,
And
so, so were you like me where, I mean, you said YouTube. For me, it was my buddies from high school buying the DVD at the flea market and bringing it to the house like, yo, you got to
yeah,
watch this.
yeah. Seriously, like that was literally, man. I don't know how it may have been down here in Florida, but I remember the old school UFC pay-per-view cards, promotion videos on
Yeah,
cable
yeah,
network. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah, man.
remember there used to be another one that was like straight from Brazil where it looked like they were in a basement and they had a fence, but it was like all concrete and it was like a Valet Tudo type setup. And it was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
yo, like a part of me was like, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like as
yeah,
a kid, it
yeah,
was like I could do that. The wild side of me was just like I could do that. So growing up, I'm not gonna say I was looking to just fight and scrap anybody anywhere, but like how you alluded to earlier, being in the Midwest, things would happen, and I would just be in certain places at the wrong time. You get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And I just have to. So I have some friends back home. I got some friends from back home that I grew up with that, if I'm not fighting on your card, they'll remember me from fighting at some basement party or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
I just want to kind of, it's a warrior's lifestyle that I've always been intrigued with, and I just want to kind of rekindle that win, lose, or draw. I just want to, keep that fire alive and have people like, like a part of me just I want to do it for my own self, but a part of me wants to do it for like everybody so they can see like how much fun this can be. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
yo, you come alive in this type of moment. You feel me? For real, for real.
Yeah, I mean, you seem very excited and very happy to be fighting, and it's like they say, if you find your passion in life, it's not really work, right? I mean, you're just
Yeah,
kind of enjoying this thing, it seems
yeah,
like.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I've seen you put a lot of jujitsu material as well on your social media and whatnot. I mean, so you're not just a striker; you're obviously
Yeah,
very avid on the
yeah,
ground as well.
yeah.
What's kind of piqued your interest about competing at Fighters Rep in kickboxing, or is that just something you've always done?
Okay, so going back a little bit with the history and everything, I started off with my mentality thinking I was a striker, you know? So I always was like, okay, I'm a striker. However, I knew that usually in fights, usually if I get the upper hand, striking, kicking, whatever, somebody's going to want to try to tackle, exact, and
Yeah,
take you down to
yeah,
the ground. So it's just like, you know what? I don't want to be caught lacking in any area. So that's where the jujitsu side comes in, where it's just like, you know, if I threw a bad kick and somebody decided to catch it and take me down, well, guess what? Welcome to my world. I'm good up as above, so below. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm good up high and I'm good low. So that was my mentality, still is my mentality now. That's why you see me still posting a lot of jujitsu because, prior to your fight card, the fight card fight rep coming down to Florida, there wasn't that many kickboxing opportunities.
yeah,
So the only way for me to get some kind of combat related, opportunity or experience was by doing jujitsu tournaments because there'd be a jujitsu tournament like once a month or twice in a month or
right,
anything of
right,
nature.
right.
So, that would be my way of kind of making up for not being able
I
to
see, I
spar or
see.
anything of that nature, especially
Yeah, they're
since there's
just
not a lot of was that?
yeah, they're just more developed. Sorry to cut you off, but they're just more developed.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't cut me off. It's one of those things where it's just like there's not a lot of smokers. You know how there used to
Yeah,
be kickboxing smokers between gyms? There's not a lot of those anymore. So it's just like, okay, then you have to kind of be patient for these kind of opportunities. And until then, I gotta stay active. I gotta do something. So
yeah.
that's where the jujitsu kind of comes in. And you never know. If someday somebody decides to do something slick and take me down, I'd rather just choke them out or just, you know what I'm saying? Like, go to sleep. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, we hope to change that. We hope to create more opportunities for the guys down here because I do believe, like in California, Florida is one of those hotbeds for talent. A
Yeah.
lot of people come here, like yourself, for
Mhm.
the weather, and especially when it comes to sports. And there's a lot of homegrown talent as well. So, that's what I'm planning to grow and get better. And obviously, as someone who's new to the promotional game here in Florida, I wanted to talk to you because I heard you've been here a while. You're kind of, so people refer to you as like kind of like an OG on the scene.
Dang,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I mean, not
Oh,
not that you're old, but
no,
like
no,
that
no, no,
you're
no.
established, that you're very
Yeah,
established. And he's in the chat right now. Hurricane Santana actually told me, yeah, like Adric's been at this a while, and everybody knows who he is, and he's very tough, and so on and so forth. What can you tell me about the scene here, especially the striking scene? Because from what I'm seeing, and I apologize, my camera just went out here for a second,
you
and
good, you
I'll
good.
get that resolved. But from what I'm seeing, um, it looks like almost every show is like a mixed show. It's not really, there's not really like an emphasis on, on just striking or maybe even just one discipline. A lot of the shows seem to be, mixed shows. What are your thoughts on that? Am I wrong about that? Or I mean, that's the kind of sense I'm getting is that a lot of these shows are mixed.
Yeah, no, that's very accurate. A lot of the shows that I've attended, that I've witnessed, have been very mixed. As far as there'll be, let's say if there's a 10 fight 10 fight card, there'll be like 6 or 5 kickboxing, 3 or 4 actual MMA, and then like let's say maybe one combat grappling or something of that nature, where it'll just be a mix, usually a little bit more towards the MMA side, and a few kickboxing, Muay Thai type of matches. Um, my opinion on that is I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to cover a wide area of fan base. However, there are gyms, there are groups out here that are strictly striking that would like appreciate just a striking only venue, a striking only card where they can sit there and say, okay, we all have the same rules across the board, instead of having to go in and listen in and hear, okay, here's a 15-minute meeting where 5 minutes of it is discussing the MMA rules, and then discussing the kickboxing rules, and then discussing the Muay Thai rules. If by chance people decide to take on the Muay Thai rules or whatnot, with the elbows and the knees and everything. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that I think that having more so the singular focus card is ideal, because when you think about it, like with the jiu-jitsu tournament, you don't see jiu-jitsu tournaments saying, oh, okay, then outside of no gi and gi, you don't see them saying, oh, well, here goes the wrestling portion of jiu-jitsu, here goes only the submission side, so on and so forth. They don't break it down like that. They keep it
Yeah,
very
yeah.
simple and say, hey, here goes your gi portion for the half of the day, here goes your no gi portion, and then they keep the show running very smoothly, compared to having it split up amongst 3 different type of disciplines of MMA and then kickboxing, and there I've actually seen some shows where they have boxing along too. So it's just like,
That's crazy to me because USA Boxing has a real like spaz when people do stuff like that.
I could believe it. I could believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not trying to sound like I like to separate things. However, just for the purity of it, and just to keep things clean and to have a smooth running show, I think that it's good to have it say like, okay, then like with what you have with Fight Rep, okay, this is all kickboxing, this is all striking related. So let's just
That's it.
focus in there.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. No, I agree with you, and I love what you just said there about it. What really got me right because the Fighters Rep started out doing MMA, right? We started with MMA. I didn't know any commission but the California athletic, basically, or amateur martial arts organization, which is CAMO. That's the only sanctioning body in California that can do MMA. And so that's kind of what got me into promoting. I didn't even know there was a striking sanctioning body, which is what I wanted to do originally. But I was just trying to get my foot in the door, kind of like you guys. You're just looking for a fight. I was just looking for my foot in the door to promote. And then I discovered the IKF, which is the only sanctioning body in California that's allowed to sanction amateur striking fights. Okay. It's the only one. It's not like Florida where anybody can create a sanctioning body, basically, which is, pretty cool. It allows for competition and lower prices.
Right.
But over there was just that one. But, to what you were saying, we did our first striking event. I think it was in 2018. And I did mixed rule sets because I kind of wanted to appease like the gyms and the fighters. Oh, you want to do modified Muay Thai? Oh, you want to do Muay Thai? Oh, you want to do kickboxing? Fine. Right. There was those 3 rule sets. Man, when I tell you the referees were so confused, bro. They had no idea. Oh, can he throw elbows this time? Can he not throw elbows? Why is he clinching me? He shouldn't be clinching me this long. So
yeah.
It got crazy, man. So I said, you know what? I love kickboxing.
Yeah.
And it's pure action. And if you can clinch, it's only for 3 to 5 seconds, and it has to be active.
Right.
In our rule set and the one that IKF was using. So if you just clinch just because you're tired, or you clinch just to hold, they're not going to let you do that. They're going to break you up, and you got to fight it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it turned into me basically being the only one concentrating just on kickboxing, and I've always felt like in order to be really successful, you kind of have to specialize in something, right?
Yes.
I mean, not as a fighter, not as like if you guys wanted to go into MMA, yeah, you got to do everything. But if you want to be like the best striker, the best at jiu-jitsu, you got to niche down.
What did Bruce Lee say? I don't fear the person who knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the person who practiced one kick 10,000 times. You get what I'm saying? So like, I totally agree with you. And I agree in the mindset of saying, okay, then if you're going to focus in on one discipline, dive into that one and promote that one, because like you alluded to earlier, okay, then now you're doing this mixed Muay Thai, kickboxing, and Muay Thai rules, and the ref is having to try to figure out on the fly as these 2 opponents are coming out. Oh, this is Muay Thai. Okay, cool. Oh, wait a minute. The next one is supposed to be. Wait a minute. Who was supposed to? I don't know. Let's just let him go.
The fans are lost. And then the fans are lost too sometimes. They're like, why are they holding in this fight? Why are they not holding in the other fight? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, and I can only imagine what you'd have to deal with fans as far as them coming back. Wait a minute, why'd you let him hold and you couldn't let my boy hold? And listen, what they agreed upon was that. I used to work at jiu-jitsu tournaments too. So I used to have to talk to the people, after like competition, especially with the young kids. So trust me, I can only imagine, I've experienced it to some degree, but not in your specific situation. But yeah, seriously.
And you've had several kickboxing fights. I mean, in your career so far, kind of tell me about that. And where's kickboxing on your rung of favorite combat sports? Because you seem like a guy who's dabbled in several.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I still see myself as a striker. I'm not the best striker in the world. I don't want to try to hype myself up as that, because I kind of grew up with the mindset of good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So I'm always trying to improve upon myself. But
that's a tongue twister. I'm surprised someone could pull that off on the first try. Go ahead.
Remember, I'm from the Midwest, man. I could just start rattling off stuff as I feel like it. You feel me? Like I tried to slow it down for you. You know what I'm saying? but when everything's said and done, it's like kickboxing, Muay Thai is still at the top. Definitely Muay Thai. A little bit before the pandemic, I started to dive into the Muay Thai realm, and I really started to fall in love with the Muay Thai, because Muay Thai is definitely more like chess. It's definitely more like chess. It's a slower pace, but it's power. You know what I'm saying? It's a slower pace, it's power. These here, it's not just tap, 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 tap like boxing or, anything Golden Glove. It's like, punching you, I'm hurting you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm staying cool, staying calm, sabai, look for the opening, hit. You know, so I love Muay Thai. Kickboxing, obviously, because it's in close correlation to Muay Thai. I love boxing. To be honest with you, man, I wish I could. I mean, even if I could go back and start my life all over again, I would still continue to just try to sharpen upon all these skills, you know, from the striking then into grappling. So really, as I said earlier, as above, so below. So I like to start off standing, and then I appreciate and respect the grappling. And, you know, that's how I would look at it order-wise, you know. Some people start from the ground up and they say, okay, then I like grappling, and then they learn how to box or whatever. However, I think that no matter what, there's going to be a middle ground, and everything starts to gray. You get what I'm saying? Like everything starts to gray, where you may think it's, you know, striking is blue and grappling is red. Eventually they come together and it's like, wait a minute. Okay, then I see where the same fighter stance is almost applicable for grappling and everything. So for me, it's like a science. It's something that I kind of like I geek out with my brother, because he and we started martial arts together, and I geek out with him and my friends about it. And, you know, when everything's said and done, I'll probably be 70, 80, 90 years old, still like, hey, young whippersnapper, come over here. Let me show you how to twist your wrist at the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And, you know, I love that. You know, we have a guy as established as yourself competing on our first card down here. You know, I think that means a lot for the promotion. I think that brings credibility to it. I also wanted to ask you, you know, what do you know, if anything, about your opponent, Nick Thomas?
Man, I really don't have that much of knowledge of him. I did see one of his fights that he had a couple months back, and he looks like he has a lot of energy. He almost reminds me of a younger version of myself, which is kind of perfect, because I think as everybody trains, usually people train to beat up somebody else. I trained to be better than myself when I was, you know, my younger version of myself. So this fight for myself, and especially with Nick stepping in on the opposite corner, is going to be more so like fighting somebody in the mirror. Not because we're both black, all right? Like let's leave the racial stuff out of it. But more so just because it's just like, all right, then, you know, I watched this fight. I have respect for him, his energy, his you know, I could see structure of Muay Thai and how he was going about one of his most recent fights. So I respect that. And, you know, I look forward to like just coming alive and us just kind of like putting our all out there, you know, like low key. It's like, hey, man, let's just keep going. And, you know, once the fight card's over, man, come over to my gym. And I'll come over to your gym, and we just keep going and going. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't got nothing bad to say about nobody these days, man. The world got a lot of stuff going on, but I know this much, man. All I know is this much. He and we about to have some fun, and I hope he really is ready to have some fun, man, for real. Because, yeah, you know, y'all coming down to Florida, what else is we supposed to do? You feel me? Like, let's
have a real good time. Have a real good time.
It's 2024, baby. Hey, Nick, if you're watching, let's have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? 2024, Fight Rep coming down. Let's turn it up for these fools. Let them see what we do out here. You know what I'm saying? For real.
And ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, if you haven't already, get your tickets to Fighters Rep 21 and 22 on sale right now at FightersRep.com. If you can't make it for whatever reasons, Adric, there's hotels everywhere. There's hotels at the Commerce Casino where we do the fights in LA, and there's hotels here too near the area on Event Center. No excuses for people not to show up and buy a ticket. But if for whatever reason you can't make it, you can catch the live stream on our YouTube channel by joining the channel. You can do that from our website as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow AK at Adric_MMA on Instagram. Show them some love. And like we always say, you know, if you guys step up and want to sponsor or drop a super chat or whatever it is, we're happy to split the proceeds with the fighter in the interview. If you want to sponsor Adric, you can reach out to him personally, or you could do the same through me, and I'd be happy to reach out to him if you also want to sponsor the promotion. Adric, man, a fight I'm really excited about. Two very high-level fighters, but also high-level gyms, man. I know for the very least you're training out of Fight Sports Deerfield Beach.
Yeah.
Nick Thomas representing Florida Kickboxing Academy. Some high-level gyms going to be throwing down on February 17th. Kind of tell me, what it means to you to represent for your gym, to represent for your team. I see a lot of camaraderie in your posts. I see it in your attitude and your personality. Tell me what it means to you, man.
Yeah, it means a lot for me because to be honest with you, there's a lot of support that I had there, but even with just the revealing of the flyer, on social media, it's just like, man, I knew you guys were, on my side and with me when we train and everything, in the morning times, whenever I'm able to see you guys in the gym. But now, even more so, seeing them reposting and so on and so forth, it's like, man, like there's a good reason why I'm there at Fight Sports, and I'm forever indebted to them. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that I'm able to go out and give not just the spectators, but my gym a good show, regardless of however it goes. Like, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna give it our all. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing, for real.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think it's an individual sport, and it is, but there's a huge team effort that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about, and I've seen it time and time again, man. Those teams can blast you off into the next level, into the stratosphere, but sometimes a bad team can take you down and end your career as well. So it's important to be at the right place, and it looks like you're at the right place. I wanted to ask you as well, what is it about AK that you want the fans to look out for? Like, what do you want to be known for when you fight? Some people got big power, some people have crazy speed or crazy heart. What is it we can expect from AK when he steps in the lion's den?
Well, that's the thing, and you can ask Hurricane too. I am a lion. You get what I'm saying? So really, all you guys should be expecting is to see a gladiator go out there and do what a gladiator's supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna come out, walk out, smiling, ready to go ahead and meet Nick in the middle of the ring. But when everything's said and done, I'm gonna be a gladiator no matter how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so we're gonna go ahead and we're throwing these. Well, I don't want to say what I'm gonna be throwing, but I'm gonna tell you this much: we're gonna be throwing something. And throwing these for sure.
Yeah.
And these are definitely going to be flying, man. So I'm looking forward to just the opportunity to just start to show the fundamentals and let people see how striking is essential. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the main thing that I even push to the people at the gym. A lot of people get so caught up on like trying to do flash, and they'll see some special kick, spin windmill kick. Nah, man, we're going to get straight to the bread and butter, and we're going to show them how it's done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of power, a lot of thunder, and we're just going to keep on working, man, and get ready for the next one. Hopefully it goes good regardless. Y'all going to probably say, hey, you know what? I like how this guy's energy is. And y'all going to want to bring me out to Cali. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Let's go to Cali. And then y'all going to say, hey, you know what? We thinking about going over there. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Let's go then. And you're going to want to go over there and over there and over there. And guess who's going to be right there with you? The OG. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been true to this, man. It's been a long time, but at the same time, I feel like this opportunity wasn't brought to me too late. I feel like it was brought to me at the right time. And, I'm all about doing work. And everybody who sees me, I think that's one reason why people look at me as an OG, is because everybody who sees me knows I do my work. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to put in work, and I'm going to do it to the T, to the finish, and we're going to keep on moving, and we're going to get ready for the next one, and the next one, and another one. Like DJ Khaled says, and another one.
And another one, and another one, and it's not going to stop, and I plan on pushing this thing just like you guys are pushing it. So I really appreciate that mentality, and I look forward to it. And yeah, I mean, flying out to Cali is definitely a thing. We brought, I'm not sure if you know Joe Grant, Joe Rilla. He trains with Xavier. Mm-hmm. I mean, he flew out and fought Cameron Spencer. We flew him out for the last event. So, I'm happy to bring guys across country to fight, because it's not as developed, unfortunately, as I would like it to be. kickboxing in the United States. It's just not. And sometimes, you get a guy in a bigger or a guy in a smaller weight class, and it's damn near impossible to match them. So, at that point, it's like I'm reaching out to New York, I'm reaching out to Florida, I'm reaching out to California. You got to make it happen for these guys. I mean, if you wanna be a serious promoter and a serious promotion, I think you got to build the guys that want to be built, help out the guys that want to fight and find fights, and that's what I did. Cam and Joe, both 185 pounders, and it was hard for them to find an experienced opponent. So we flew his ass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard.
So definitely something that could happen in the future. So you're a Lion. It's appropriate for the Lions Den. Do you have a bit of I'm going to ask you, do you have a bit of a chip on your shoulder being a guy from, the Midwest, having relocated to South Florida? We got a lot of guys walking around here. I'm a tough guy, Kimbo Slice, this and that. We got a lot of New Yorkers that moved down here. Does it make you proud to be from the Midwest? You got a bit of a chip on your shoulder for that? You want to represent for that?
Yeah. Because, a lot of people overlook the Midwest. They, especially when you say you're coming out of Wisconsin, they'll be like, Wisconsin, what? Aren't there cows and whatever? But it's like, nah, there's more than just cows. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sleep on us. And that's the main thing, like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm impervious or I'm invincible, but I'm gonna tell you this much: by the time you're done, training, fighting with me, you're gonna have a whole new respect for my area, and you're gonna be like, hey, I met somebody from that area, and you know what? I don't want to see that person again unless it's on good terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I train. I don't try to keep a chip on my shoulder. However, I do have to make sure nobody, disrespects. It's all about respect, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, man, if you have respect, cool. But, no matter what, I'm going to show you what we do. And, I come from a blue collar state where it's like everything we do out there is work. It's not about show. I may not look muscular, but I do work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I think, I used to feel that way, the way you're talking about Wisconsin, maybe about Omaha until Terrence Bud Crawford came out of there. And then I said, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know all this about Nebraska. You know what I mean? So you can never judge anyone, man.
Exactly. And I rock with Bud. Like, I really do mean that. It's funny. After, his most recent fight against Spence, Errol Spence, people were asking me about who do you think is going to get it, because they were thinking Errol Spence was going to win. And I remember talking to my brother way before I moved down to Florida. So this was like 2013 about Bud. Like, yeah, that guy, something about him, he's got it. You know what I'm saying? He's got that it factor. And mind you, I'm from Wisconsin, not saying it's better or bigger than Omaha or nothing of that nature, but it was just like we could see he had that it factor before, moving forward down the road. So it's just like, that's the main thing. There's a lot of people out here that have this drive that goes beyond just like, okay, yeah, well, you came from here or whatnot. You're from a big city. You're from New York. Nah, it's okay. It's cool that you're from New York, but there's a lot of silent assassins in the smaller areas that want to come out. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah. Another thing, and I'm sure you could speak to this, is consistency, right? Yeah. Like as a promoter and also as a baseball dad, right? I mean, my kids play all kinds of sports, but what I've seen is guys that are consistent and active are very dangerous. They're very dangerous. There's some people that go all in and then they burn out right away and then you never hear from them again. But the guys that stick to it and are consistent and active and actually love the sport and keep going, man, there's something to be said about those guys. And not everybody has that mentality. I feel like a lot of people, especially in the fight game, because it's very ruthless, right? And there's just not as many opportunities as there should be. I feel like in the fight game, like people burn out quick. They get tired of all the politics and everything else. I mean, is that something that you've noticed as well?
Yeah. I mean, without even diving into the actual fighting portion, just the training, the consistency that's required of just staying in the gym. I've seen a lot of people back when tap out was still around that come in with all the tap out gear. And just because the first week didn't go their way because they thought they were going to be hitting the bag hard or starting to spar right away, instead of learning the basic fundamentals of their fighting stance, they just decided to walk away. And there's a certain, that consistency falls in line with another word that is only developed through consistency, and that's called resilience. Because when you're sitting there sparring so much and you're learning the basics, you don't know how many times a person has had to throw a jab over, and over the past, 10 years, so on and so forth, or been clipped while sparring. I know I've taken a hit while sparring where it's just like, wait a minute, did you just make me bleed my own blood? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, then some people would just leave. I can't believe I'm bleeding my own blood. I gotta no,
That's
this ain't what I came
crazy.
here for.
That's crazy to me.
Nah, I'm gonna keep going, So it's just like, okay, you got me now. I'm gonna step on the sideline so I can clean this up. But next week, you're gonna have to see me again. You know what I'm saying? That's the resilience of them, consistency and everything. So, it helps. It does make a person very dangerous. It does make a person very dangerous.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. It's the resiliency, and it's just more so, okay, then I've not to try to toot any horns, but it's like, man, I've sat there and I've sparred with Pat Barry, and he kicks like a mule. You know what I'm saying? And we're in way two different weight classes.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
his leg, his leg is like the size of some people. You know what I mean?
No lie. So it's just like, okay, then you're gonna have to kick me with a street lamp to try to hurt me, because I've literally had him. When I was in Wisconsin training at Rufus Sport Academy, it's just like some of the people that I was sitting there training with, then these were high-level strikers. Like I said, I used to consider myself a striker before a grappler. So Pat Barry was a high-level striker who trained with, I believe it was Ernesto Hus. And it's just like, he's coming over from overseas, getting the sharpest and the best striking. Well, I'm just a inner city kid, a Midwest kid just trying to chase a dream. So I'm taking those hits, but I didn't stop. And that was, starting way back in the early, like 2008, 2009. So, it's crazy to sit here as I look back and I reflect, and it's like, man, it's been so many years. But it's time. It's time. That's all I can say.
And do you feel like you're still getting better all the time, every day, every training session? You still feel like you're improving?
Yeah. That's one reason why I say that I'm at home with Fight Sports, because, Coach Daniel Mendez and the team that's there, the people that come in to train, especially like the fight team, it's just, all of them are vicious. They're good people. They're good people. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say they bad people. They vicious. They out to hurt. They can hurt people, but they're good people. But they have skill. They have skill. And for me to be able to, when I am able to sit there and train with them, to be able to stand my own and try to just like, okay, then I didn't get knocked down, or I'm still able to strike with some of them, or so on and so forth. That speaks volumes, especially after all the years, and how you alluded to earlier, where it's just like some people would be like, man, I'm not gonna even lie about myself. There's been times where I'm like, oh shoot, I don't even know if I'm getting any better. But you just keep doing it and you keep going, because I have nothing else. It's not like I'm about to start singing anytime soon. I got my guitar over there, but I'm not making that much progress on my guitar where I can, become the next Ed Sheeran or something. So, this is all I really know.
I absolutely love it, man. Let's see. Hurricane says, how do you become a fighter in this promotion? You got some people in the chat room here. All you got to do is sign up at FightersRep.com. And if you're up to par, up to standard, we'll look for a match for you, just like we've done with AK over here, who we're very excited to have on February 17th at Fighters Rep 21, our first ever Florida kickboxing event, Fighters Rep event. Why should people sitting on the fence, right, AK, they never been to a fight maybe, or, they just want something to do that evening, or, they're not sure about kickboxing, why should they go to FightersRep.com, buy a ticket to come watch Adric versus Nick Thomas fight on February 17th? And of course, we do give you guys credit for every ticket purchase, so be sure to put their names where it asks, who did you come to see? But why should people buy a ticket to come watch you, Adric?
Simple as this. I'm about to give y'all a show. I promise you that much. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to display everything I possibly can. I mean, literally, it's a kickboxing card, so it's not like I can go left way and do a headbutt. But if they said, hey, let's do headbutts, look at all this head I got up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on and popping. You know what I'm saying? And we going to have fun. It's going to be like, let me say it like this. You're going to get to see nothing but pure striking, okay? So that means usually you guys, a lot of spectators are like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why are they hugging? Why are they on the ground? This, that, and the third. Stand them up.
Yeah.
It's all stand up, baby.
Right.
It's all stand up. Let's
That's
get hype
it.
about that. First off. Second off, it's gonna be a great venue. First off, it's gonna be a great venue. It's Florida, okay? Y'all know if y'all in Florida, if you need to travel down here, come down. It's going to be a great time. I promise you that much. You're going to have beautiful weather, everything. For those in Florida, especially those that know me and those that are around me, my neighbors, anybody that's training with me, I'm going to say what the young kids say. It's going to be lit. You feel me? We about to turn this thing all the way up. We about to turn up. We about to just get hyped, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. These next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be in my own little dark. I'm gonna turn off the lights after this interview. I'm gonna get in my dark area. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to just train like a dog. You feel me? But once everything's said and done, and we finish, and those fights is done, it's about to be fun. Like, y'all may as well just go ahead and start talking about the after party. Where's the after party going to be? You know what I'm saying? Because we about to turn up. And if there isn't an after party, we all going to be in the middle of the stage just having fun. Like, yes, we did it. Let's go. Bring back another fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it might as well be a party in itself. They've got a fantastic bar, VIP tables, everything going on at the Arion Event Center. It's going to be a lot of fun. They got a big screen there and huge speakers and lighting, and it's beautiful. And I really look forward to this event there, and continuing hopefully to promote guys like yourself, because you got me sold with that, man. That was a fantastic promo. Before I let you go, I've taken a lot of your time, Adric. I really appreciate it, man. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anyone you want to thank? The floor is yours, man. It's all you.
Man, I love when I get this opportunity because I'm a man of a lot of words. So first off, I have to give thanks to God because, we've all been just, experienced a lot over these years and everything of that nature. And he's been keeping us going, So I don't care how you like to look at God or whatever. I mean, there's a higher power that's keeping us moving. So that's one thing I have to say up front. After that, I definitely want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing support, my family, and that goes by blood, by association, relation, whatever, however you want to look at it. Thank you, FightRep, for creating something and building upon something that, I think is going to be, that's going to reverberate across the states and hopefully build up so much momentum to go even farther. You know what I'm saying? So when everything's said and done, I want to say thank you for that. We've all been experiencing things in this world, and, I'm coming out there to give y'all an escape. You get what I'm saying? Not just for my own escape, but also for y'all, so y'all can be able to see, all right, then, hey, there's a lot of people like that have been alluding that I'm an OG. So I want y'all to see that, no matter what, the fundamentals are going to keep me safe. They're going to keep me alive, and we're going to keep rocking, and we're going to be throwing leather, kicking hard, going to work, putting in some heavy work during that fight card, for real, for real. There's a bunch of other fighters that are on that card. I know another fighter that's supposed to be on the card who's an up and coming You know, like he just started training not too long ago, but he's got skill and talent, and he's going to be somebody that you guys are going to want to keep on your radar. I ain't going to drop no names, but if he's watching or if he ends up seeing this later on, he's going to know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And, you know, this Fight Rep is about to bring a lot of new talent as well as seasoned talent like myself. You feel me? Out. And we're about to go ahead and, you know, have a good time. So I give thanks. I give so much thanks for this opportunity to everybody who believed in me and is wanting to see a great show. We're about to do it. Fight Rep 21. Don't forget there's 22 also coming up. Florida, California, back to Florida, back to California. Let's keep going and going and going, and let's get it. All right, I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, once again, Adric Taylor, AK. You can follow him on Adric_MMA, and you know he's got me hyped now. I was tired for like a few minutes there, but now I'm ready to go. You know, this is that. You know, this is that adrenaline, man. That these fighters that got the gift of gab, like Adric can bring out of you. So definitely subscribe to the channel, join the channel if you haven't already. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. And Adric, man, that was very impressive. That was amazing. Thank you again. I really appreciate your time.
Say less, man. Salute to you.